Is TJ Hockenson a $9.5 million player in the NFL?
I like this spot. Prove to me you can stay healthy.
Right now. Right here, right now. And I don't want to hear about projections. I don't want to hear about where he was drafted because we are in the now. Right now.
Right now he is.
No, the market does not say he is. Where he was drafted says he is.
Isn't that the market, though?
Detroit Lions made some news yesterday. They exercised the option year on TJ Hockenson. Dave Burkett said it out there. Lions have officially exercised a fifth-year option on TJ Hockenson's contract. Brad Holmes said a couple weeks ago this was coming if they didn't get an extension done. And I think there's two camps with this. And for me, that option's right around $9.5 million. I know some of you are going to be, it's $9.33 million. But $9.5 million. It's easier to talk that way. I don't... And there's a couple different ways to go, as I said. And I'll go around the room here. Is TJ Hockenson a $9.5 million player in the NFL? Right now. Because that's what he is.
Being where he was drafted, being with what's going on around the league, absolutely. You know, just because it goes back to the conversation where I lean to you and say, well, this is the stuff that we do not want to have coming into saying why you can't take Kyle Hamilton or a safety or out-slotted your position. Right, so that's the decision being made. No, you'd like to pay. What would you like to pay him? $6 million, $7 million, stuff like this. But this is what the market bears. And again, with where this team's at, this is where some of the money's gone. Again, you look at it. I look at it in the big pot of things. Okay, you can pay TJ this because you got Amon-Ra St. Brown, or you have this. You put yourself in this position when you drafted him, right? Because you're not going to walk away for under $10 million for a top 10 draft pick. I don't care who you are if there's anything there, unless they're a total bust. So again, yeah. But do you not look at it that the extension's signed, so there is plausible, there is a get out clause, right? You didn't extend them. You don't have that money on the cap and stuff like this. This is more of what we've seen for the Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell regime is that, okay, here's your deal. Go out and prove that you deserve more, right? So,
and that's what we have on the YouTube chat poll right now. Is he a $9.5 million a year player? Right now,
and
right here,
right
right now. And I don't want to hear about projections. I don't want to hear about where he was drafted because we are in the now. Right now.
Right now he is because that's where it is. And you can say because he's a top 10 tight end in the game, right? Right? You know the top 4 or 5 or whatever, but he's between 5 and 10. And it's something that this is a huge year for him. How, can he stay healthy? Can he do these things? But I still think for $9 million, yeah, it's a no-brainer to go out and see if you still have something. And this is the season for it.
And I'll deal with it. And I'm not, by no means am I a TJ Hockenson hater. By no means. I am to the point, though, where you have to question the availability. You do. I mean, and that's fair.
$9 million gives you instead of a longer term 4 years with 36, 40 million, whatever like this. I like this spot. Prove to me you can stay healthy. Prove to me that you are as good as where you were drafted, and then we'll move from there. It's the Yzerman approach, and I think that Holmes has more of the Yzerman approach. Instead of giving you the money, you got to prove it. Now, the money that they've given have guys that have proven it to. If I'm talking golf and restructuring, well, that was proven with Brad Holmes and his relationship with the Rams, relationships other places before he got here. So I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all because it's better than the alternative of releasing them for that money.
And Chuck says he needs a healthy, productive season before he gets a nice extension. Doughboy Steve says, no way. Look at his career so far. And Jason McWilliams, and look, I lean towards no. What he is, what he has been in the NFL, I lean towards no. I'm not going to die on the hill about it and say, what are you doing? I get it because there is some flexibility to it, and this is kind of a prove-it scenario for TJ Hockenson. But Jason McWilliams says it best. And I can't defeat this logic as much as I don't like it. Jason McWilliams says TJ has not shown he's a $9.5 million player, but the economics of the NFL say that he is. And I get that.
The market says he is.
The rookie contract he signed.
Right.
Says,
to your point,
says
the market,
that he is.
the rookie contract, what you say. To me, this is the conversation that you don't want to have with Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah.
As a safety at slotting
See, but
into the money.
this is the one exception that I would take with it. Spearwalker 77 says the market says he is. No, the market does not say he is. Where he was drafted says he is.
Isn't that the market though? Isn't that part of the draft market?
Not for people that feel that it wasn't a good draft pick. You see what I'm saying?
But when you drafted him that high, in the long term of things, you were either going to extend him for that 5th year or the end of his contract, or you were hoping to give him a bigger deal.
Right, but the market, is free agency. You know what I'm saying? That's market. Like, market is get what someone's willing to give. The Lions were locked into this.
The market is the market, right? The draft capital's in the same. That's the veggie aisle, and the free agency is over in the cereal aisle, and it's the same market. You know what I'm saying? So I think it all plays into it because it plays into. Doesn't it play into the alternative a lot of times? What are the alternatives? Cut them. This is all on potential. And this all goes down to because TJ Hockenson, like you said, was that 8th overall pick.
Right. Is TJ Hockenson $9.5 million player? 69% of you say yes. And I get it. But this is different than market. This is different than free agency. He was locked into this the second he signed his rookie contract. The second he got drafted, but number 8 overall, right? Number 8 overall. The second he got drafted, it all pointed to this day. And a lot of you are, some of you are saying no. It's funny because the votes go one way, but the comments seem to be going another way. Joseph Austin says, Neil, if you were GM, the team would suck and the books would look good, as opposed to the team sucking and the books looking bad.
Which is where we're at. But the books are looking better. I mean, I think it plays out to everything with the free agency, with the draft or whatever. It's you got to prove it now, right? The conversation is, to me, with Hockenson, it was never. It's always about the next contract. That's what we're about, the next contract and where he was. So if we're talking about, like they were saying, what the extension was, they couldn't get an extension done, so they went this. Isn't this the best case scenario? Because at the end of the day, if he isn't what it is, then you're not paying him 12, 15 that the top guys are getting.
Are you gonna? What if could it be fool's gold this year? You know what I'm saying? Like, when the availability comes into question, I get concerned.
Well, I think that's the number one when we're talking about Hawk. How available is he? And if the availability, and we see, okay, he's come through that and he's made himself available, at least 14, 15 games, right? You can handle him playing tight end, being knocked, you can't, concussions are a big thing in this league, and you never know when the next one's coming because, the fact that it's 100% injury rate. It's just the fact, can he show that durability that some of the other best tight ends do? And then you move to the money then. So I think it's just, it's one of these issues. There's a lot of questions that'll be down the road, but to the point about you would have the books right, bad team, you have to get the books right first, or else you're just crap shooting for a season with the team, right? So, I mean, you look at, there's different, like we always say, there's different ways to do it, and to me, we saw this coming, so I don't think this is out of left field or shocking at all, Neil.